And now, WTOL 11 Sports, sponsored by Jim White Honda.
Thanks to Jim White Honda, lots of brackets may be busted, but there's still plenty of basketball happening across the country. Both the Ohio State men's and women's teams were in action in Columbus today. The women's team came away with an 88-81 victory over West Virginia. They move on to the Sweet 16 to face Tennessee on Friday. But as for the Ohio State men, it was a bit of a different story. Buckeyes taking on Florida in the second round of the NIT. Big Nut there showing his support, but it was a rough start for the Buckeyes. It took them nearly 4 minutes to get on the board. Here's Jaquan Lyle. He sees the open lane, drives it to get that first Buckeye basket. But Ohio State was trailing by 12 at one point. Still chipping away, though. Lyle again misses, but Mark Loving grabs the offensive board, and he fights to lay it in for two, putting the Buckeyes within one going into the half. Second half, though, another slow start for Buckeye Nation. Here's Loving again for three. Hits it. He had a team-high 20. But the Gators kept the lead the entire game, and leading the way for them was Dorian Finney-Smith. Here he is from behind the arc. He drills it. He had 16 on the day, and Florida knocks off Ohio State 74-66 the final. NCAA action, Notre Dame against Stephen F. Austin. Lumberjacks looking to play spoiler again. Close game the whole way. Here's Thomas Walkup driving the baseline to get that tough layup to tie it at 70. Notre Dame tries to score, but TJ Holyfield gets the block. Walkup brings it down the court, gets it out to Demetrius Floyd for three. Lumberjacks take the lead. 7.1 seconds to go, and Notre Dame goes for it. Doesn't go. Tip-in doesn't go again, but Rex Pfluger gets that tip-in to go. Irish 76-75. And last effort by Stephen F. Austin does not fall. Irish survive to move on to the Sweet 16. And moving on to NASCAR and the Sprint Series Auto Club 400, Austin Dillon looking for the weekend sweep after winning yesterday's Xfinity race. But Kevin Harvick has other plans. He jumps out to a quick lead going into turn one. Then here at lap 47 saw trouble for Kyle Larson. He had a rear tire go down, sending him right into the wall. Serious damage to the front of his car there, but he would be okay. Then with 2 laps to go in the race, Harvick's still leading, but Kyle Busch has a tire go down of his own. Bringing out the caution, everyone pits, and Denny Hamlin sneaks in to take the lead heading into overtime. But Harvick would regain that lead, but coming down the backstretch, Jimmy Johnson goes inside of Harvick to take the lead, grab his 77th career win, and puts him number 6 on the Sprint Cup Series all-time wins list. And the last day of the Arnold Palmer Invitational, there's the man himself looking on. Troy Merritt here, great chip from the bunker on the 14th for the birdie. That's his 5th straight birdie of the day. But all eyes are on Jason Day, the leader from day one at Bay Hill, and 3 days later manages to hang on to get the one-stroke win over Kevin Chappell. And with the win, Day becomes the first wire-to-wire winner at Bay Hill since Fred Couples did it back in 1992. And a special story tonight comes to us from Berlin, Germany. A young woman, once a refugee from Syria, is training to accomplish her dream, swim in the Olympics. CNN's Zane Asher shares her story.
A swimmer from Syria, once a refugee, now an Olympic hopeful. Just 7 months ago, Yusra Mardini fled the civil war in her home country, leaving the Syrian capital of Damascus with her sister, making the dangerous sea crossing to Greece, then trekking several weeks across Europe to Germany.
It was really hard for everyone.
Now she's living in Berlin, going to school, swimming at a pool near her refugee center, training with a coach, and determined to make it to the Olympics this summer.
The problem was the reason of why I am here and why I am stronger, and I want to reach my goals.
Just 17 years old, Mardini is already an accomplished athlete. She represented her country at the Swimming World Championships in Turkey in 2012, but says training in Syria was challenging.
Sometimes we couldn't train because of the war, or sometimes we had a training and there was a bombing in the swimming pool.
Now that she's left the war behind, Mardini hopes to qualify for Rio as a refugee athlete.
In the water, there is no difference if you're a refugee or Syrian or German.
Mardini says that swimming at the Olympics would be a dream come true and a chance to inspire people across the world.
Everyone is excited and they want to see what I'm going to do. And me too, actually.
And if Mardini is selected, she'll be part of the IOC's very first team of refugee athletes. Zain Asher, CNN, Atlanta.
And a special congrats to our very own Jordan Strack. He was honored by the Northwest Ohio Basketball Coaches Association tonight for his work and basketball coverage. Congrats, Jordan. And that's it for sports. We'll be right back.